Welcome aboard Destiny Hub program. Today we are privileged with a very special guest, our lovely coach, very experienced in different angles, and she's called by the name of Winfred Zizinga. Winfred Zizinga, and today we're going to be having a good time, and we're on the theme that says, is it the responsibility of a couple running the errands, the calls and the challenges in the family, the welfare of the family? Is it the responsibility of the couple at large or the man himself? Is it man's or the couple altogether? So we're going to be looking at it. But remember, Winfred is a qualified professional accountant. Coming from the background of 17 years of marriage and married to a fellow accountant. Guys, you need to pray for me. This is a very terrible time. We're just getting into the ring with an accountant, and we're going to be talking about the finances and all this stuff. Thank you, Madam Winfred. You're welcome aboard.
Thank you. It is an honor to be here.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you.
We've heard about you several times. We kept discussing with Bishop Road about you, and we couldn't wait to just have you in to share your brain pattern. You have wisdom, words of wisdom, and technical approach over this. It's a pleasure hosting you today.
Thank you. I'm really humbled by it.
This is Destiny Hub. Destiny Hub, our slogan, always we say, in our slogan we say, every night has a day. Because we believe that every challenges that we encounter, or couples, or people in relationships encounter, those are dark moments.
Yeah.
So they're equated to darkness. So we believe that, but we remember that when God created the night, He hid the day in the night. So whenever, it's just a matter of tick-tocking. When it gets to what's morning, before you know it, the day breaks forth. It's separated from the night. It shines. So we encourage those people that have gone through, encountered different challenges in relationship, that also say, this is a no-go area. I think all men are the same, all women are the same. I think marriage will never work out and stuff like that. We keep encouraging them that hang on, hold on. The day can still break forth.
Yes, it
I've
can.
traveled around over 30 different countries, but I got a challenge when I got in Botswana. In Botswana, they at large believed on a national level that marriage just doesn't work because of the experience that they went through. So today we are on this topic. You as an accountant, actually this is a ring. I asked the audience to pray for me, because we're engaging in this discussion.
Yeah.
It's just like bringing a zebra with a lion.
Who is the lion here? Who is the lion here?
An accountant. Many people are scared of people of your profession. When it comes to relating, they're scared. They're like, oh, you married an accountant. I think she's going to give you a hard time. The soap, she's going to measure the soap. She's going to measure the oil, measure everything in the kitchen. When you're putting on water, you say, honey, the water is too much, it's overflowing. You took a bath yesterday, please.
Don't take a bath today.
If you go to the loo and flush 4 times a day, baby, why are you flushing? So, our accountant is trained professionally to look at what?
The figures.
The figures. These are people of numbers.
We are analytical.
How many times have you gone to the loo?
Yes.
How many times are you flushing? I've experienced one other couple in South Africa whereby the husband told the wife that you don't have to take a bath in the morning.
Wow.
I mean, in the night when I come. So in the morning, you're just in the house.
Was it an accountant?
The husband was a doctor, but from the father was an accountant. So we are like, did he inherit something from the father? So whenever you come close to the accountant, some people say, prepare yourself on numbers and expenditure, economizing on each and every faculty.
Yes.
So now you've been married for over 17 years. By the way, when I first heard your name, Winfred Zizinga, to me I said, I must look for Zizinga, the one...
Dixon,
Zizinga, the one on Pearl Magic. I said, I need to appreciate it. How did he qualify to achieve this this lady of this high caliber lady, you know, this thing, how did he just do it? That alone was gonna make me host this singer here. This singer, just ask him, this singer. People are struggling out there to get quality ladies, professional, well-learned, and you know, a lady who can move, you know, with her husband 17 years, it's not easy. Accountant versus accountant. How have you really managed to walk that journey?
I cannot say that journey has been without faith.
Mm.
I cannot say that journey has been without God and without the support of people.
Mm.
People have really supported us. We are not a silo.
Okay.
We are, like they used to say in our day, it takes a village
Okay.
to raise a child. So it has taken many people to actually raise these accountants
Accountant,
to
okay.
be together.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So it has taken a bit of time. But it's not terrible marrying an accountant. You have laid it out badly. You have scared the people out there, the ones who are not married
Mm.
and dating accountants.
Yes.
It's not terrible.
Mm.
It's just the fear that someone is going to be very analytical with you.
Mm.
And you would be surprised that sometimes that's not a thing.
Somebody told me that, what do you think? Would it make a difference if the government worked so hard on grooming so many accountants? You know, campaigning for so many students to head
To
that
do
direction.
accounts.
Will it change the economy?
No.
The country's economy?
No.
When we have so much accounts,
No.
people
It
who know
still
how to have
wouldn't.
resources,
No.
you know, not to waste it.
You'd be surprised.
Sure.
I think it comes down to values. What are
Okay.
your values? What are the core values?
Okay.
Because if there is a profession that I think is languishing in prison, it's the accountants.
Okay.
You
Sure.
know-
Okay. Investment.
The embezzlement
It's
of
because
funds.
they're smart. They know how to play with the
Absolutely.
with the pen. You
Yes,
know?
yes.
The figures and you know.
That is the thing. So it doesn't matter how many accountants we have out there.
Okay.
If there is no integrity,
Mm.
then we are wasting time.
Yeah, integrity.
Yes.
It calls for integrity.
Yes, and then even like when I have listened to people who are actually scared of marrying women accountants, especially.
Mm.
So with the women accountants come the thing of we can hide money. Like in the profession, you can hide money if you really wanted to.
Mm.
So now here you are with a doctor who just knows how to inject people and cut people up, and he's there thinking, where will my money be hidden this time round? So I'd much rather not marry an accountant. But then I think it comes with the values that you uphold very dear to you, that keep you going and you know keep you up and straight. Yes.
Okay. I get your point. How many are you from your family?
In my family,
The siblings.
we are 5.
You're 5 and your number?
2.
You're number 2.
Yes.
You're number 2. I think you don't. You want it to be protected. You want to be in the middle, not at the front, not at the back. Okay, 2. 5. And your dad, is anyone an accountant from your family where you come
My
from?
dad is an engineer by profession.
Okay.
My mom is a tailor, I would say. She's a tailor. And my sister has done quite a bit. She's done tailoring, she's done cooking. My dad enjoys cooking.
Okay.
I fall very far from the tree.
Oh.
Yes, I fall.
Where do you get the passion of becoming an accountant?
We struggled growing up.
Okay.
It was a real challenge growing up. And being sent to the shop and your parent is like looking at you, where's the balance? Balance.
Okay.
And you were like, you needed to.
Every penny was budgeted for.
Yes,
Okay.
there was a reason why you had to come back with balance. So the bargaining skills and moving with my parents to buy something, they are bargaining like we were poor among the poorest. So that taught me to be economical in the way I did things, unlike my siblings though. So when my parents, actually when governments changed and they started recognizing people who were educated, and you know, my dad got a good contract. So they got good contracts. My mom's well-being became better. So, but in me, it's like, why waste? It's not that I can't have a good time. I can't spend on myself. I can. But if I don't need to, or if I'm anticipating something ahead, then it is natural for me to think, okay, I need to plan for this. I need to plan for that. So my sister did fashion and design. She's now into teaching.
Okay.
Okay. The thread across all of us, the 5 of us, is teaching. We all teach different things. So I come second. I do accounts. My sister, who comes after me, Susan. She lives in America at the moment. She did architecture.
Okay.
That's almost in Dad's profession. Then when she went out, she started doing nursing. So she does nursing or heart things. Then my brother who follows her is an engineer purely, just like my dad, civil yes, and he works with my dad. And then my other brother, my last born brother, he's into engineering, but the computer engineering. So that I fall very far.
I see, I get your point.
Yes.
You see, you've had challenges in families.
Yes.
Lots of challenges. In Uganda, I think every country has a slogan that they use. In Uganda, they use this one of Kameza. They call it Kameza. You know, whereby every time, every morning, before the man walks out of that door,
he has got to leave money for Kameza.
He must have fellowship with the Kameza.
Yes.
He must get in contact with the Kameza, drop something, just in case the woman is busy somewhere or is, you know, fixing a few things. The Kameza must be harmonized with this gentleman before he walks out of the door.
Yes.
Now, some women that will really, the first thing that they clean, they look up to is that Kameza.
When you wake up,
that's the bank of the
first
family.
place you go
that's
to.
what nurtures, you know, makes things move in, you know, on every, you know, expenses at home. So there are times I want to, now that I'm dealing with an accountant, I'm very privileged. There are times whereby there's drama. There comes a time, you know, the things of jobs, you know.
Yes.
Sometimes the man is having challenges at work, and then he tries to sit down his wife, explain, you know, we have this and that, but the things are not going well. Then maybe if he was leaving 50,000, maybe he started leaving 20,000. Then there are times it goes to 5,000, and the woman has to figure out. But we've been told that women keep making a difference. Keep making a difference. I want to hear from you as an accountant. You know, do you think you could be one of the people who could train people on how to maximize and also
The
economize, you know, whatever has landed on the Kameza? You know, first tell me about that. Are the accountants the best that have maximized the Kameza, you know, because they know how to budget very well, they know how to prioritize, and then they know how to save. You know, I think this could be the privilege of accountants. Can I say the accountants are having the best marriages in terms of management, resources in homes?
I will go back to the thing of values and leave it there. Values. So the thing is this, Apostle, for me, that Kameza money will be there.
Okay.
It's 50,000 today. You have made me get used to 50,000.
Okay.
You are not explaining to me why it is 30,000 tomorrow.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
In the first place, when you were getting this sister,
Yes.
you told this sister in not many words, actually in action, that I got this. I'm going to take care of you. This is what you told the sister, right?
Yes.
I got this. Now we get into the marriage, right? You take care of everything.
Okay.
No questions asked, no explanations made. And then you lose your job. I see you going out every day in the morning. You've never even told me that you were laid off or you have had to undergo a pay cut. It is your friend James who has told me that, by the way, your husband
having issues at work.
Yes, he's having issues at work, and actually because I'm the accountant there, I know that his pay was cut by half. Now you come back home and you're the macho man. You've not said nothing.
Okay.
Then you give me 30,000. Like, what do you expect me to do with 30,000?
Sometimes I don't want to give you a heartbreak. So you know what you do, because women, we want to be in control of the family. We don't want to get more issues. And you ladies, you're full of questions. When there are things, they say that certain things better off left unsaid. Now, suppose I just tell you, no, plan amongst us, there's something that coming up, we'll talk later. And then I think the issue begins to come in there when you ladies, you know, you like a lot of explanations.
Yes.
And sometimes maybe you could be, especially an accountant, a woman, you know.
It has got to make sense.
To make sense before you really. So starting to deal with an accountant, explaining what happened at work, what brought to that, what led to that, and all these.
Because it will help me to budget better, but I need to hear it from you.
Okay.
Not from your friend James, the accountant.
Okay.
I need to hear it from you that, you know what, times are hard. Yes, I see times are hard, but do you and I believe that there are people living above this economy? There are people who are thriving in this economy. Whereas everyone, a friend of mine says, these days men drive looking up. They're looking at the fuel price. Every time they go out, they're looking at the fuel price. And the women are just driving around because the men are giving them the money. So, yeah. So some of us are not living in the economy, right? While the gentleman is living in the economy, but he is not saying. So I know I see what is happening out there. I think I would need you to humble yourself enough to come and tell me, look here, honey, this is what is.
What's happening?
Yes. Now, on top of that, you have made mention of the fact that the money keeps reducing. Does your expectation reduce? The expectations have not reduced. You still want to eat chicken. You still want me to take care of the home. Even you know.
You don't want to move those kids from those good schools.
No, you don't.
To, yes.
To these schools.
I must maintain my wife.
Exactly.
The hair, from the hair, the eyebrows, the what.
Everything these days is for taking care of the ears, everything.
And the challenge also comes in, you ladies, you also get bored quickly. You buy a lady a phone today, then after...
Tomorrow there's another one.
Tomorrow there's a new type, a new brand that came. He said, baby, this thing is outdated. I need another one. He said, but this one is still functioning.
No.
And then you want, especially the peer pressure. And now the funerals are, whenever the man goes out.
Now, let me say something, Apostle. Yes. Let me say something. When I was younger, we never had Jebaleko.
Okay.
It was Wasuzotia or Sibiotia. It was greeting in that way. And I've grown from there to Chikati.
Oh, okay.
Even that era was there. Chikati. Yes. Then the era of Ensula. Now we are at Jebaleko. You find someone in the morning and they say Jebaleko. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, personally I greet people. It is rare for me to say Jebaleko just like that. I'm old school. So now here you are with your wife. Girlfriend first. You've dated, you update her gadgets. You update her cars.
Yes.
We used to live across someone who updated his wife's car every other time.
Okay.
Every year or 2 years. He would upgrade her car. He had the means to do it. He still does. And he's a Christian and there's nothing evil in it. Yes. So now here you are. You're upgrading your wife's phone. Every other time. Every time there's a new gadget on, you get it for your wife. If you can afford it, it's okay. Now, you have maintained her at that level. And you have maintained her to a place where you are not telling her, you know what, honey, a rough patch can come along. Now, the expectations are not managed. You are not being truthful with your wife. Now, it gets back still to the accountant. I could be stealing money, and my husband says, oh, my wife is very well paid. She looks after her home very well until I'm thrown into prison. Then you'll know, oops.
This is what's been happening.
Exactly. So now when you have your wife and things have reduced, it's about time you have that candid conversation and say, look here, honey, the way it was is not the way it is right now. We need to have a sense of adjustment in our lifestyle or in our expectations. But you're not doing that. Now when we go back to the money for Kameza, I want to say that my own father, looked after our home.
Okay.
I never saw my mom writing a list. We don't have tomatoes, we don't have onions, we don't have... No!
Hey!
No!
How did they do it?
My dad knew he eats food in the house.
Okay. Yes.
It is cooked with tomatoes, onions, everything.
So he went and shopped everything?
He would buy everything and bring it home.
Now, did your mother have a chance of making any saving on Kameza?
On Kameza, growing up, my dad puts his wallet there. To this day, my parents are still together. I thank God for that. He gets home, everything of his is on that table.
On the table, the wallet.
Yes.
Okay.
So the thing ingrained in us, including my mom, when you take from that wallet, you're stealing from all of us.
Oh, okay.
So we are all going to be 10,000 shillings short. All of us.
He just puts the wallet there.
Exactly.
And the mom takes it out, then begins to budget for other.
He puts it, and she would say, oh, I took 10,000 from your wallet, or I took 50,000 from your wallet. I did this, that, and that. He would dress her.
Okay.
He did everything. And there was a phase in my life with understanding and knowledge when my mom looked after her home.
Okay.
With understanding. Not when I was young without understanding. With understanding. My mom looked after her home.
Wow. I want to ask you one thing.
Please.
I want to ask you one thing because I've just remembered one scenario of some two guys that dated, then ended up in a marriage. They used to meet, and then of course when they were dating, and the girl could tell the guy, the guy could say, we have had, this is the 4th date. The other 3 dates I paid transport. So this one, pay something also. Pay some transport because I paid 3, the other 3 didn't mind. So this lady would look and say, this just in the taxi, we're getting said, this just paid money. Said it's okay, I'll pay. He never paid attention to the implication, So he could pull out the money and then pays. Then as they go up in and about, then another time he says, you know what? The other time I paid for the meals. I paid for the meals and we went out 7 times. I paid for the meal in the other hotel or whatever, so this time you're paying for the drinks. The man said, it's all right. Maybe he's trying to encourage the culture of working together, cost sharing and stuff like that. I said, it's okay. But after some time, the lady tells me that I didn't know where this thing was heading. And she realized when she got married, by the time we were talking, she was having 5 kids. But she said, all my kids, I was just the one paying maternity. Because the husband would get to the hospital and said, you know what, honey, congratulations.
No.
Boy. But this time around, you know what? Remember, all the 9 months I've been paying antenatal services. Antenatal services, so this time, you better pay for the maternity. The woman is there lying there weak. She's just being discharged. And said, but I don't have money, baby. Because I was in a rush when we were coming. I said, call your sisters. Call your brothers.
Now, Apostle, there is what?
Does that woman has a right of complaining
to the husband?
To the husband?
Yes, she does.
When the husband was playing, he showed her the indicator
whose
that this
baby
is the way of
is
life.
it?
No, the babies are both. For both.
Yes. So look after me until I'm well enough.
But we started on the foundation, because you ladies keep saying one thing, that the challenge with us men, when we come into your life, when we pick you up and start dating, that all we do is to impress you.
So he was trying to be himself.
Yes, he was trying, from the word go.
The one. And maybe, like there's this analogy, we think you will go and change the man.
Oh, okay.
So you think, I will manage you.
Okay.
You watch. So you get there, and you're under covenant. Okay. And you have failed to manage this man. Child 1, child 5, if child 1 he did it, rest your case. No, this is something that is going to happen. Again. So that is something, you close that chapter, moving on swiftly. Now, we have a breed of men who don't like working. Or who are very selfish, right? He does not leave Kameza money.
By the way, let me first ask this. Is this part of submission? When, say, a wife is working and when he comes back home with her salary, she must declare it, put it on the table.
Now, whose money is it?
That money, if you're my wife, you've gone to work. I'm the head of the house. Why don't you submit the money, put it on the table? And then we have a dialogue.
Over the money.
I'm the head of the what?
No, I'm going to answer that.
I've been leaving money on Kameza, your transport, inclusive and all that. Now, when you catch your salary, another man would be out there saying that, I think the best thing would be the woman to lay all her salary on table. What is your take on that?
My take on this is that whose money is it? Let us first get the fact that money belongs to God. Let us first clear that.
Money belongs to God.
It belongs to Him.
Even the husband's salary.
Both of us.
All right.
When the two become one, it ceases to be mine, it ceases to be yours.
Yours, okay.
We need to bring it together and do what we do best.
Okay.
This is what I need. This is what we need as a family. This is what I need a phone. I need a new laptop. I need this. But collectively as a family, this is what we need to go on. We need to pay Yaka for the next month. We need to pay our bills for water. We need to do this, and that. However, I have known men who come into the marriage and say, I don't even want to know how much she gets.
Okay.
Right? Until when tough times come, then you start saying, oh, now this woman, she can't even see that I'm suffering. You are the one who told her you don't want to know how much she makes.
Yes.
And then you can't eat humble pie to tell her that, you know what, honey, times are tough where I am right now. Right? It's not that I don't see, but what does it take from you? So you feel that your ego will go if you came and told your wife that, you know what, honey, this...
Borrow some money or something.
It shouldn't be borrowed.
Now you just triggered me to another angle. Let me ask you this. If I've been supporting you as my wife in so much and, sustaining the whole entire family, and there comes a situation, things are not okay financially, and then I happen to borrow some money from you as my wife and say, okay, borrow me this amount, maybe $1 million, and then I fix a few things I buy. But when you give me that money, I'm not going to fix my car. And I happen to shop the food in the house.
With the money you'd borrowed.
With the money I've borrowed from you. Then I buy the food in the house. Then I buy some, I look at your shoe. Also, it was worn out. I buy a pair of shoes. Then I fix the kids also a few stuff. And then I maybe fix the TV, because you enjoy the soaps and the TV, it's having some damage somewhere, and then the money is done. And then there's food in the house, everything is okay. And then you see this woman starting to
give me my 1 million.
Give me my 1 million.
Now you are being very crafty. You asked for that 1 million to do something else.
Yes.
Why did you take it and do something else?
No, I asked. There was no food at home.
That is your responsibility.
But the food we shared, the food.
That one, the food, yes, was your responsibility. The money you borrowed was for doing something else. So when you came, you were not truthful, because otherwise I wouldn't have given you my 1 million. Wouldn't have been here having headache.
Help me to get this.
Yeah?
When two people, the man and the woman, if they happen to go, they're both working, they're both earning.
Yes.
Just give me a guidance. Is it still the man's responsibility to take care of all the responsibility of the home?
Now, let us first go back to that story which you talked about this couple in a taxi. Today you are paying, the
other day.
Now, he's showing you what it will be like.
Okay.
Right? So there are some people, the Dutch, I'm told, go out and you pay your meal, I pay for my meal. Okay. But it's a date.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
We get into a taxi.
Oh, there are even those ones?
Yes.
You pay your meal, I pay mine.
Yes, but it's a date.
It's a date.
Yes, it's a date.
Okay.
You suggested it, like let's go to Serena.
The suggester is the one who pays.
No. We go together and that's why they call it the Dutch.
Oh, the Dutch.
We both.
The Dutch style.
Then you'd say, maybe we'll go to Serena.
Yes.
A meal is probably 150 per person.
Yes.
It's 300,000. So I'm sure I should have 150. So should you have your 150.
All right, okay.
Now you have 200. So I'll top up the 100.
Okay.
That's the way it works for some. This is what I have, then I top up.
Okay.
Other times it's half-half.
Okay.
Then unless I explicitly say that I will pay for your meal.
Okay.
I shouldn't assume that because you asked me out, you're going to pay for my meal.
Okay.
So for some, it is that way. So for some homes, they are run very well. Everyone has a clear-cut rule. You'll pay fees, me, I will buy soap. This one will buy Omo, the other one will buy hankies.
Okay.
This one, like everything is clear-cut.
Okay, clear-cut.
Yes, from the day they get married.
On the fees, this one is on the food.
Yes. So when the fees and when your job is doing funny things, it is up to you.
It's up
I
to you.
will look the other side. I am buying the onions, I'm buying the tomatoes. You are eating.
I'm the food department.
Yes.
So you don't have to come up with any reason. There are challenges. Again, you have to figure it out.
Exactly. So some marriages are working like that and they are thriving,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
So now the challenge comes in when you can't fulfill your part.
Okay.
And the saddest thing is when the men can't fulfill their part because of so much ego, they can't even, like come and say, this is what it is. I'm having challenges. Now the women also just look aloof and they're not even bothered or concerned about what is happening, even when it concerns their own children. I've seen women who let their children sit for a term.
Hey. When the woman has money.
Yes.
And you can't pay for your children.
Yes.
When I'm having issues.
I'm going to tell you why.
And I've shared the issues.
I'm going to tell you why.
All right.
Now we are having a breed of men who don't want to share.
Oh, okay.
We have a breed of men who, the moment you lift his hand like this, forever shall it be. Till death do you part.
Or once you engage.
Once you helping, take on that responsibility, that's it.
That's it. He can handle both.
Yeah.
Hers and mine.
Yes. Okay. And then, as if that's not enough, you have gone ahead and say, now you wear the trousers in the house. Now you feel like you're the one. You go and wear the trousers in the house. Right? Now, these are women who, like, if she sees the kids are seated, it's your responsibility to take care of their fees. She has gone to borrow money. Right? She's paying for the kids. And you are looking up like this as if you don't care that these kids are there. Term 1, term 2, term 3, year 1, year 2. It's like all your money now goes somewhere I don't know. You are not helping with this. I am dying under the weight of this. And everyone is telling you, oh, your wife looks nice. Your wife, you really take
care. The credit goes to the man.
Yes, the credit goes to the man. So now we are looking at a breed of men today who, and a breed of women. So the women are thinking to themselves, the moment you help him with this, forever
and ever.
Amen.
It shall be.
Yes. So I would much rather not start what I don't want to finish.
Okay.
Not I can't finish, but I don't want to finish.
Let me take you back. We come to when people meet and they're newly, wedded or something, as they're working up a relationship. And of course, every man would love to impress his wife.
His wife.
Or to be. And then, of course, I come up this time around, then I do some shopping, then another day. Every day I want to make a wonder. Now, I'm told that you ladies, you keep misinterpreting this. You have this thing of saying, whatever you began with, maintain.
Now and
why
forever.
Why is it difficult for you guys to understand that I did that to make you happy? But when you say I should maintain, so the day if I used to buy you shoes and take you do a lot of shopping, make your hair and whatever, and then the day I stop buying the shoes, because I know you have pairs, those are keeping you going, and then you say, he's no longer buying the shoes. The love has gone down. Who is he like? Where is he taking the love to?
Yes. Because...
What's the problem? Why do you have that formula? Where did you get that from?
The formula?
Yes.
This is the thing. Teach a child in the way he should go. And when he's old, he never does what? Depart. Now, when you teach me in the way we are going...
You believe... You blame
I don't want you to depart from that way which we are going.
Okay.
So here you are. I think, for me, this is what I have seen in my journey.
Okay.
Even today, you will find a young man can borrow money to impress a girl.
Okay.
And, of course, sometimes even the parents, you tell your parents that I'm going to see Jennifer as a guy.
Yes.
And your parents, they really like Jennifer as well. That is, you take my car.
Okay.
So you will take your car to actually to meet Jennifer.
Yes.
And Jennifer is happy. She dolls herself up and she sits in the car, you drive around and come back. That is buying the fuel. Then Jennifer will tell you, actually, I wanted to see my friend who lives in Mary Stewart somewhere, or you will drive her there. The fuel is there. You are not buying it, but you're giving her the impression that you are buying it.
Okay.
Now, you are not naked.
I want to look
What?
like a man. I want her to feel secure.
There's
He's
nothing
getting-
wrong
Okay.
with being vulnerable
Okay.
and showing who you are. When I met my husband,
Oh.
his dad had about 6 cars at a time.
6 cars.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And he used to change a car every time he could
Okay.
drive.
Yes.
But the one thing he would tell me, these cars are not mine.
Oh, he'll tell you.
Yeah, that-
Right from that's why I love accountants. Accountants, because they are upfront, they are frank, you know.
This car
Yes.
is not mine.
Okay.
Because I've seen him goofing, I've seen him on his 2 feet, walking from place to place. So now, here you are not being upfront, honest.
Honest.
So you are not being vulnerably naked before the person that you're going to go with. And then I will come up with a list and I'll tell you, remember my friend who we went to see, she's having trouble, she's blah, blah, blah. And then you pull out your wallet.
You remember you just told me that there were those seasons of Masuze Mutieseo.
Yes.
Then it came to
Chikati.
Then it came to, you know, seasons changing, you know, the generations.
Yes.
The generation of the ladies today,
Mm-hmm.
I'm told that whenever she comes up and says, I got a guy, the first few questions her friends will be asking,
What does he do?
what does he do?
How much
Which
does he
job?
earn? Yes.
How much it's
Yes.
and then ask where does he stay, Muyenga or
Nasana.
Muyenga Kololo or Nasana, you know, or Madu. And immediately he said, well, I got a man, but he comes from Buyikwe or Namatul. I said, what? Hear the name. I said, oh my God, that's, you know, that's the generation of today. So how do you advise the men of today? I mean, the ladies of today, really, because the man wants to cope up with the generation. He wants to win this girl. If he comes up so honest, he feels that he may lose her.
Then that girl is not for you.
Okay.
That, I mean, I'll say it outright. I don't care how beautiful she is.
Okay.
I don't care how smart in the brain she is. That is not for you. If you'll think about the long overhaul, that is not for you. Because what about when these things go away? All right, we're talking about money right now. We're talking about Kameza money. Yes, you live it. You've been living 100,000 and you've been amputated.
Okay.
Then what?
Things have changed, of course. you
Things
know.
have changed, and I can physically see you have no hands, right? Or you have no legs, or you have been impaired in some way. Then what? I mean, before, I was able to see you giving me. Now you can't give me. So if my heart and attitude were towards what you can give me, then when the times are bad, I need to think twice. That is why you see that the men struggle to maintain the women.
Okay.
You are struggling so hard to maintain this woman because you've never allowed her to see that and to experience it. And you know that when you allow her to see that, you're going to have hell in the house.
Okay. Okay.
But I would much rather you deal with the demon today than tomorrow. Because tomorrow it will have grown bigger.
Okay. Okay.
The demon will have and brought his cousins all together and they are seated in your house.
Yes.
So when you're struggling to impress this girl because you want to fit into today's era, I think that you're missing it. Tomorrow you will be the very one crying.
Let me ask you this. How do you weigh it when you look at the percentage of men that are not opening up to their wives? Where do you think the problem lies most? Is it with men opening up, or the problem is more with the expectation of these ladies
Now,
who are not understanding the times, the change of times?
Now, like I say, teach the child the way they should go. When we are, as girls, coming from generations, 4-5 generations before me, our mothers or our grandmothers gave their all to our grandfathers or great-grandfathers. And then our great-grandfathers, at the end of the day, he has another wife somewhere in Maokota. All this you learn on the day he dies.
Okay.
Right? And in his will, you are not there.
Okay.
And neither are your children. And probably they are still young. Now you have nothing. And clans and culture were so strong then, much stronger. Today people have a bit of animosity with that. But then they would just sit as a clan and say, he said nothing for Winnie, nothing for her children.
Yes.
And I gave my all. I gave my life to this man.
Exactly.
And I have nothing. So now that came with me, with my great grandmother telling my grandmother, weekoleringa waakako ng'omukazi. Yes, like you do your own thing somewhere, somehow, so that you can sustain yourself in case what happened to me happens to you. Lo and behold, it happens. Now, when it happens, my grandmother will just walk with her children to her new house, which she has been keeping from this man, and this man will die. How could she? She had a house, she had this, she had that. And so that is what we are doing today with the Kameza money.
Okay.
Now it's a generation of teach their child in the way they should go, and when they're old, they don't depart from it. Yes, so we are not departing from it. So when you give me Kameza money, I will first of all take away what is to keep for in the event that the event happens.
Scarcity or something?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the first thing. So, of course, sometimes when it grows big, imagine you've been keeping Kameza money of, let us say, 100,000 every month or 2 months or every week. And at the end of the year, 52 weeks, you 100,000, you have 5.2 million.
5.2 million.
Now you think,
that's quite big money.
Yes, you're thinking, okay, what can I do with this money right now? Then you start to think, if you hear of land in the village for 5 million, you buy it.
Okay.
All right? Then you don't tell him, because he's going to ask you, where did you get the money from? Now, you're inflating the tomatoes, you're inflating the onions, you're inflating everything, because now, like an accountant, he would look through this list. If he works, he'd probably give it to his secretary and say, go through this list for me and tell me what is happening, because he's an accountant anyway. And then the woman will say, tomatoes for 4,000 in your house? No, 2K. So she would reduce, the secretary would reduce. Maybe she's ignorant of what is happening. You may not present it in a way to disregard his wife. So the secretary would actually cut the prices that, this maid was going to steal your money. Kumbe, it was the wife.
The wife, okay.
Yes.
I get your point.
Now, when you come back, you reduce the Kameza money. You're thinking to yourself,
the maid.
This money is going to be reduced for shopping. Then I'm giving her as my wife, she has 10K, for the shopping is 20K, so I'm giving her 30K from 50K.
Okay.
So she will notice that,
what a change.
Yes, what a change. But before that, your assumption was every time I give her this money, she spends it on groceries. I mean, we're eating the meat, we're eating the chicken, everything is okay. But she's keeping some money away. The saddest thing about today's women, unlike my grandmothers, is that for them, when times became tough, they brought it out and said, here.
It is.
Here it is. Can we plan with this? Yes. Now you have learnt your lesson. If you've been gallivanting, you've learnt your lesson. Can we work with this? And actually that worked. It brought them back together, and they would say, you're a very wise woman. Yeah, you kept this, and for a rainy day, okay, let's plan with this, and they are better moving forward. But today's woman...
Do we still have these women today?
They are there, but they're mostly frustrated by the brothers.
Okay.
Yes.
Frustrated by the brothers.
They're frustrated by, because I keep this money, I've been keeping it for something. And then I'll come and tell you, honey, I've been keeping some money aside for ABCD. Now you're thinking, so you've been cheating me.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just keeping it aside. Okay, bring it. So when you bring it, he takes it, and he doesn't even remember that your hair needs to go to the salon. He does not remember anything. He will enjoy the money by himself. I've also seen women who bring their salaries to the table. I bring 5 million. You bring your 100,000. It should be 5.1, right? So we have to table our issues together and say, you need this, I need that, she needs this, my child needs that. You know, this is what we need. However, when I bring the 5 million, and I'll tell you that my hair costs 70,000, why can't you have it reduced? Why can't you go for the one of 50,000?
50 or 40.
Will you die? You cut my budget, like for the hair.
Yes.
But the money is there.
It's there.
Now, the women are also wondering, what kind of man are you? Meanwhile, you're going to buy yourself a new laptop, the one which you touch and swipe.
I brought 100.
You brought 100. But because like you said earlier, why shouldn't she bring it to me because I'm the man in the
house.
in the house? But when I bring it to you, you do not apportion it according to the fairness of what should be.
Exactly.
You are spending it on yourself. Now, we also have issues where these days young men don't want to marry women with baggage. What do I mean by that? Now, if my mother is a single mother,
Okay.
and I've been looking after her,
Oh,
you don't want to
you're the
marry.
firstborn,
I'm the firstborn. I'm
and
looking
then
after
there are
her.
these other siblings of yours,
Yes.
about 7.
Something like that.
There's no father in there.
And I've been managing well without you,
Okay.
right?
Now you come together with me.
Now I come together with you. I tell you, this is my baggage.
Okay.
I've been looking after this. Maybe one is at university about to finish, the other one is also starting to work. But my mom, I've pended to build for a house because I'm looking after these ones. But I really wanted to build for my mother a house. And you know this, we've been dating for 3 years. You've seen where my mother lives. You have appreciated what I've done. We have come together. You want me to cut them off?
Oh, okay. Cut them off, and then that would be quite unfair.
But that is what happens.
Yes, I know.
So I bring my 5 million, and I'll tell you, oh, would have 1 million maybe to look after my siblings and what. I've brought the 5 million, all of it. And then you say, a man shall leave his wife. His father and
Forget
mother.
about them.
Yeah, that's what you...
That would be quite unfair.
But
That
that
would be
is
quite-
what
what's
happens.
happening. I want to ask you this.
Yes, please ask.
What if, in this scenario, I've heard that a bunch of women take advantage of their husband if they're not if they're not taking responsibility on the Kameza, they wait for them in the
I was waiting for you to say that.
They wait for them in the parliament. If you don't leave the Kameza happy, the woman just waits for you in the parliament. You find her with a tight jeans. These days, they're tight jeans and tight, she gets a very tight belt, and
With a padlock.
with a padlock, they're bikers, she puts on 7 clothes.
Now,
So basically, in the parliament, and of course you know that the bedroom is the parliament of the home, and when the parliament is not okay, then confusion is bound to happen in all the other faculties.
now that is really wrong.
Yes.
Let me start with that. It is not a good thing. People do it. I don't do it. It is not a good thing. However, I also know of men who, when the parliament didn't go in their favor, they reduce the Kameza. Yes, they react on the Kameza, right?
Yes.
Now the sister goes, okay, I will find you in the parliament.
In the parliament.
Yes.
Okay.
And so the fight is in the parliament.
The parliament.
And then, so when they come out, he says, okay, today let me increase it and see if the parliament
will give me
bonus. Yes.
Yes,
And then this sister is saying, we'll go one more day and I
one
see.
more day.
And she'll put on her tight jeans.
Yes. Yet
And-
I did.
Yes,
I
and yet you
stretched.
did well. And you will feel frustrated.
Frustrated.
So you're wondering, should I reduce? Should I increase it? Should I? You are in the middle there. It's not a good thing. It's not a good place to be as a man, but also as a man that shouldn't govern you. The parliament, the decisions in the parliament should not govern you.
Okay.
They shouldn't.
man.
As a man, they shouldn't govern you.
Even when I'm frustrated in the parliament.
Let me tell
I
you.
should go on,
Let me tell
you know,
you something, Pastor.
Yes.
You may be frustrated, just like the women control you.
Okay.
Women can be so frustrated. How many of you see the frustration in our eyes?
Maybe it's just because they're up to something. They're best at revenging, so they have a plan B. When someone has a plan B, it doesn't bother with
No.
showing it.
The mere fact that I look not bothered
Okay.
bothers you.
Oh, okay. Yes.
The mere fact that I'm containing it bothers you.
Yeah, it puts me in a certain situation. I'm like,
You don't know what I'm thinking.
what are you up to?
Exactly. Now, when you let the affairs of the parliament rule you, you've lost it. You also need to let me be bothered.
I'm told that this is the highest office in the home.
It is the highest office, but let me.
If it's affected, why don't I have a right to really stand up? If it's really, it's not going well. This is the highest office in the. Let me ask you before what's the highest office in the home? Is it the kitchen? Is it the sitting room? Is it the bedroom?
This morning I was in a workshop that talked about the ecosystem.
Okay.
The ecosystem is something that one without the other. If you're having a cake without baking powder, it's not a cake. Whereas there are cakes that are made without baking powder. If that is the whole ingredient, the whole mix of the cake, it will come out well. You don't put baking powder, you don't put sugar, you use honey. It's the recipe for the cake, it will come out well. Then there's a cake that needs to have baking powder. That will also come out well with the baking powder. Without the baking powder, it won't come out well.
Yes.
So the kitchen, the bedroom, the sitting room, they're all important factors. Ingredients in having a holistic marriage.
Okay.
I can't say it is only the bedroom. Although that the saddest thing is that sex has been overrated. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's a good thing. It's enjoyable in the context and in the sanctity of marriage. However, it has been overrated because for us, the girls were told, give him in the morning, give him in the evening. When he's annoyed, give him. When, so it's like a man cannot function without sex.
Without sex, yes.
Right? And he's also feeling, he's also been brought up to think, man, I'm losing it. I haven't had sex for 2 days. I am losing it. You're not losing it. You think you are losing it, but you're not losing it. So I am controlling you on something I think you want. Like the way you would hold the sweet for your 5-year-old and you say, until you do this, and I'll give you the sweet. Exactly. So he's running helter-skelter to do what you want, even if it is the wrong thing, so he can have that sweet.
Let me, I would ask you, don't you think men, if a woman worked so hard and understood that the first thing that you do is to make the parliament, offered, at its fullness, anytime, any season, that one would help the man also to go crazy. Because you may be a good cook, you may be very tidy, you fix the sitting room, the living room is posh, and you may be, very smart yourself, but when the parliament is not what?
Apostle.
So some men are having this whatever.
Known marriages where it is morning glory, evening, all times.
Like they say, anytime is tea time.
Anytime, like the English say, anytime is tea time. He is well catered for in the parliament,
but
and he's still a fool.
They still go crazy.
He still goes. He goes crazy somewhere. Okay, you may not go crazy somewhere. He still does not fulfill his obligations.
His responsibility in the house as a man.
As a man.
Even when he is being served at its fullness.
He's served at its fullness. Even when you are in injury, you serve him. Even when you're not in injury, you serve him. But he does not fulfill his obligations in the home. So he's not moving out, like he's not having sex outside the marriage. But he's not fulfilling. It's just like a picture there.
Okay.
So you're slaving. Now you're paying fees for your children. You're looking after home. Okay, he's had his rough moments, he's had a bad patch, but he's not even showing you that he's getting up on his feet to take the reins of the horse and just, drive them home. But in all this time, the parliament is settled. Even him, when he sits at the gates, he says, for me, mine is okay.
It's a assured case.
It's assured. The moment I get home, it is clear. The men at the gates envy him for the wrong reasons. How do you do it? For me, I've bought peas, I've bought sugar, popcorns, nothing. I can go without. One gentleman I met during my sessions said, it is measured for him on a spoon. Even the spoon comes shaking like this.
Okay.
So,
but what would that woman be thinking really?
And he does everything.
And the man does everything.
He does everything.
He's providing,
everything he does. So now, what is it? with the woman.
What would be lacking in such a marriage?
The parliament needs to be settled.
It needs to be settled.
It needs to be. But this is like the man is being gentleman. Like, I've talked to my wife, I've done everything, but there are things that you can't do. There are things that your wife wants that you probably can't do. For instance, some of you men are not social media men. You're not
all the time.
Instagram, yeah, like you change your Facebook picture.
When will I work? If I get to this, whatever. And you hear ladies, well, this guy is very boring. I send him messages, he's not replying.
Exactly.
At least I like John. Because John is over there when we can chat for hours. Now, hours. How do you get excited to a man who can reply your messages for hours?
No.
When is he working?
He's supposed to juggle all things.
Okay.
When do I work? I look after the children.
Okay.
I make sure that house is maintained, and I find time to send you and I love you.
Okay.
I find time to tell you where I am or where I'm going. Why can't you find time to just do it?
Okay.
That is one. But sometimes the women have the extreme. Like, why didn't you post the picture that we took yesterday? And you're thinking, okay, what is
the pictures for? I mean,
why aren't you
I was at
updating
work.
your status every 20 minutes? Put my picture there. Honey, I sent you a list of my pictures. Why don't you put them on your status? So it's that
Actually,
can, and then you go
wonders.
home and she's
now gloomy.
she's gloomy, and you've done everything. So I know that there are some things that it's not your area. So I would advise this woman and talk to this woman that, man, this is not your husband. It is not him to do that, but he does everything else. So what are you fussing about? Because there are some things he probably wants that you don't do, but he said, it's okay.
I've seen women who goes for counseling and then they say, well, I do, my husband is mean. He's not doing this, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. And then you ask the woman, how much are you offering in that relationship? And she gets stuck. She can't answer. How much are you offering? Before you complain what the man is not doing, how much are you offering? Before you get to know that the woman is so much on the soaps, the husband is in the parliament waiting, and this one is on the soaps. He has to accomplish her soaps, one after the other. When he's accomplishing this one, oh my God, there's another one. I want to
Telemundo.
Telemundo.
Yes.
There's Telemundo, and the soaps are many.
Yes.
On every channel. So from this one she shifts, goes to this one, it goes to the other. Then there are these late night movies, very posh, and the woman is just glued there, and the parliament is being ignored. But the woman in the morning expects that kameza
to happen,
to be loaded. So when he wakes up in the morning to go to the kameza, there's probably merely less, and it's like, this man, she goes crazy. How do you really come into that?
Now we come from a generation that is very selfish, or as human beings we are very selfish. None of us gets into a relationship to give. We all want something. You want sex, she wants love, or she wants money. I mean, everyone wants something. And when something is not being fulfilled, then we are frustrated. But if we came into the relationship to give, I think there would be a very, very, very big difference in the way we handling marriage.
Both of us coming to offer,
to give.
Not just to receive.
No.
And everyone should be giving what he...
You're giving your best.
Your best.
You're coming to give your best. You're coming to serve with your best. I have talent to sing, I have come to sing for you. You have talent to massage, you have come to massage me. So I don't need to ask
for every talent that you have.
Exactly.
For your partner.
Yes. So you are giving your best. But now we have people who are waiting to receive, especially the women.
Too much expectations, especially it's in women.
Yes.
I like that, accountant. Accountant, no, we'll be hosting you more time. Especially women.
Especially the women. The women, it's like it's mandated for us, we come to receive.
No, I've heard this common saying, everywhere you go, that, the musicians are even singing those songs.
I'm
was
not
just created to be given.
No, but the thing is this.
How true is that?
We expect to be given.
Okay.
Right? However, the heart in us needs to give.
Okay.
The heart in us needs to give. That that should be the nature of Christ. Yes, a man should look after a home. Yes, a man should look after a home.
Somebody said
However,
you can love, I mean, you can give without loving, but you can't love without
giving.
Go ahead.
However, why would I wait for my husband to commit suicide because he's weighed down for me to understand that, oh, he was weighed down by this whole family. I have the money. Why can't I bring it out and say, honey, I see you're struggling? Because sometimes it needs us to take a bold step. I'm married to you. I need to be able to tell you, I see you're struggling. And I need for you to come out with the truth and say, yes, it is true, I am struggling. How can I be of help in this moment?
Okay.
This is how much money I have. I may have an account to my name. I need you as my husband also to be a good steward to the funds that have been given. Some men marry rich women. She's rich and maybe she has even a good job. She has an account with money to her name. The moment she gives you that ATM card, all hell breaks loose. You come back with a new car. You come back with... You're the man in the home.
You get big, luxurious.
Exactly.
With stuff that are not so needful.
Now I have entrusted you with just this.
One day.
One day.
When they screw up, buying the whole world.
I have seen a couple like that as well. But well, the woman brings ATM card you.
Okay.
The man was a banker. Okay. She was working in a company which used to bank with that. Her account is in there. Her salary goes on. So all he had to do is type in the account number and see the funds of his wife. Right?
She had access to...
He had access to...
The deposits and the bank.
Yes. And she gave him the ATM card. There it is. You can use it when you need it. He's the banker.
Okay.
She's working in another organization. But the organization banks with that...
Or with that particular bank?
Bank, yes. Okay. Now, this man depleted the wife's funds. Okay, their funds. And in less than a week, all hell breaks loose. Even the husband was being taken to prison. Why was that? No, and then now they are recovering, but she's hesitant to give him.
Okay.
She has paid the loans because he was without a job for about 8 months. He has started working, but she's cautious. She's really cautious on how she's walking this journey with him. She tells me he has to earn his trust.
Okay.
He has got to earn that.
The trust fund.
Yes. For me to be able to actually even go there if I will ever go back to that place. Right? So here I am coming to give you what I have. But you're going to manipulate what I have.
Okay. Okay. So
which means you're not
yet mature.
Maturity level.
To handle
yes,
resources.
Resources.
You're a waster.
And the bedroom, parliament, and the money are the two things that make us fight.
Oh, okay. Usually, those
two, they make us. So when you ask me, is the bedroom more important than the sitting room? No.
Okay.
Is the kitchen more important than the bathroom? No.
Okay.
They are all holistically in making this homework.
Making the homework.
Yes. So when we come with the attitude, I am coming to serve you, you're coming to serve me, that in itself lays a very, very good foundation. That is where you find that a man may say, I don't care about how much money my wife makes. I'm able to look after her. He gives her. But she's not foolish.
Okay.
She's not foolish. She sees his sacrifice. She sees what he is doing. And she's leveraging on that to do what she can do.
What she ought to do. Okay.
What she ought to do or what she can do. Because you will find a man who will probably is buying the food, he's paying yaka, he's buying fees. I've seen women dress their husbands. So she goes out and says, okay, I'll use my money to dress my man. She dresses him, she dresses him. Every time you look at this man, you're thinking, oh wow, his wife is dressing him. She is, what can I do? what can I do to serve this man who is serving me selflessly? He is not asking, but what can I do? Tomorrow she'll say, honey, I think we're going to paint the house. I asked James to come over to make a quotation to paint the house. It's coming from my funds.
Okay.
Because you're looking after me and you're saying, Winnie, I don't need your money. But I'm not foolish to be foolish with the money that God has given me.
Okay.
So I am working to also better our
I want
place,
to
our
ask
home.
something, Winnie.
Yes.
We have home setting. What would you advise whereby you find that there are friends that keep coming from, a woman has a different, bunch of friends that keep coming home. I've seen, let's start from the dating side. I've seen a guy dating a lady, and when he says, okay, honey, let's meet up at Acacia, and she comes with the 6 of other friends. He comes with 6 of them, and they said those ones are gifted in clearing and forwarding chicken. They're gifted, heavily. Some of them are tiny, but very,
destroyers.
Destroyers, they are locusts.
Yes.
When they get when they begin to feast, they clear and forward heavily, massively. Now, he comes with the 6 of them, and the man is left wondering. My budget was for one. I knew she's coming out by herself. I wanted to spoil her, but now she has this bunch of 6 heads. That's such relationships.
Now, if you stomach it the first time, it will carry on.
Oh, okay. Tell me now, accountant, help me here. What is this man supposed to do? To address this lady in front of her friends, or to say, can I have a word with you? Or to bang it there live? So that these escorters, next time they didn't know their boundary. What is the man supposed to do? Because he doesn't, these are friends, and these ladies come and say,
before he sits down. I'm sorry, I had not budgeted.
She's the one
for
making
them.
many orders and ordering expensive stuff.
Before Jim sits down,
Okay.
he needs to address Winnie and say, Winnie, can I have a word with you?
Okay, aside.
All
right.
If Winnie is adamant and says, no, I'm with my friends, then give it to me as it is there.
Okay. Oh, in front of the friends.
In front of the friends.
Okay.
Because these are her friends for life.
For life.
Right? So they need to know where they stop then. Because when you say it, should Winnie still be interested in pursuing this relationship, right? These people will know. They will know that, man, Winnie's Jimmy's Winnie and Winnie's Jimmy. They are 2 different people. They are tight like this.
There's one guy that I got to know of, one story that I was told. These guys were not Christian, they were not born again. So this girl came, and the man took her side, told her, I don't like this. And the lady was adamant. So they get back to the table, this man said, it's all right, it's okay. So he didn't want to make any confusion, so she served them, they ate, they feasted, then the guy paid. So the first time, the second time he called her again on a date, and then he still brought the friends. The friends, about 6 again. The third, he served them. The third time, she brought about 3. The guy said, it's fine, but today, I think you have to pay my money. So what he did was just, he gave them a whisk. He wasn't born again. He gave them just a whisk. And then they enjoyed, they were calling for this and that. After enjoying themselves, he dropped them back. They started staggering. They lost their senses. They were drunk. And so when they were intoxicated, he dropped them back. And then getting home, he had a boy's quota. He put the other 3, in the boy's quota. Then he put the other one aside. But it's like he used all of them. And then when they woke up, sober, they started wondering, where are we?
How did we get here?
And then all of a sudden, the lady, they check, there were CDs around. And they're like, oh my God, what would this guy, with this fool, what happened? So the so-called lady, the owner of the man, runs to the man, grabs him and said, what did you just do? He said, me, I dropped. Have you seen me there? I dropped him. I don't know whether it's Ascari or who, but me, I dropped him there. The rest, I'm deciding.
It's a sad story.
Yes. So that was something to teach the ladies that when a man calls you up, he's making up, a date. You don't need to carry a bunch of, other whatever accompanying you. So basically, a bunch of them that are still struggling, especially campuses. Some people are giving names to the campuses that they're ATMs. When they say I'm with the campus, they say, "Are you with the ATM?" you know. So basically,
No, but I think that it's a culture that you breed. You breed it from the word go.
Okay.
What you like, you state. What you don't like, you don't state. For instance, in our culture, girls are not meant to be bold.
okay.
I'm not meant to ask you questions. I'm supposed to just be with you as though nothing is going to happen.
Little few questions, tender expression.
Now, we have dated for 3 years, 4 years, 5. I can't even ask you, where are we going with this? Right? So you find per dating for 7 years, and you're thinking, hang on a minute, where is this going? Why don't you ask him, where are we going? So you're not supposed to ask the candid questions. So sometimes you have that friend who can ask the candid questions. So where are you taking my friend? Like, that was why we would move with more than one. When I can't say I have my gango that can say, okay, now where are you taking our friend? What's the plan? What's 2 years from now? What does 3 years look like? If you're very intimidated, you will walk away. But today, the men you date for 1 year and you ask him, so what's your plan for 2023? And he goes and tells his friend, this chick is a bit too much. Yes,
you know?
she's
digging too much.
Yeah, I don't like people like that.
The other day, he's asking too much.
But that is the way it is. I need to ask you and to know. When I met my husband, I told him, I do not want to be told that you want to come and visit my parents in a period under 9 months.
Okay.
So you don't wake up one morning and tell me, tugende mu bazadde.
Under 9 months.
Under 9 months.
That said, it must be beyond after 9
yes,
months.
because I don't know what their pocket is like. They have to prepare for you to come. So if you can't deal with that pass.
Let me ask another thing. The ladies, when it is time for the man to pay a visit in preparation of the introduction,
Yes.
what should it be like? Is it suppose the man has to send money for the...
No.
You know, because I see ladies coming up, a bunch of ladies telling that, honey, for you before you visit, send some money so they fix the
No, that is wrong. It is very wrong.
Okay.
Even culturally.
Okay.
You came as you were, we were as we are.
Okay.
So if my daughter is bringing a man home, what we can do is what we can do. That's what we can afford to do.
You live in your means and usher them
Absolutely, yes. So he knows this is who we are. This is us. We are not covering.
Okay.
Now, when the man sends the money home, silently he starts to resent you sometimes.
Okay.
I'm not saying that it's a bad thing altogether. I have seen men who, okay, like sometimes you find that your mother was widowed.
Okay.
And probably the clan even chased her. But culturally, your function is supposed to be at your father's home or at your grandfather's home. Now, this is not a place Winnie has been for the last 25 years. It's looking dilapidated. And I need to, like, sort of patch it up for the gentleman who's coming home, right? So Jimmy knows all these things. Okay. He's come knowing I'm going to have a function here because my paternal side says so. They've dictated over this. I have no say. I'm going to have it there. So I'm doing everything to see that it's presentable by the time you come. Jimmy knows I have 2 million to my salary every month. And I'm putting it aside for that and also preparing for them to come. Now, sometimes the mistake that happens, that is made, initially Kwanjura would have very few people, but today we want to have an entourage of people. So Jimmy will tell me I'm coming with 100 friends. Then I'll tell him I can only afford to feed 50 people with my 2 million.
Okay.
And then Jimmy will start. What if I increased the money? Can you feed the rest of us? And yes, I'll say yes, I can. So he comes with, then that means he'll start to give me money.
Okay.
I'll start to enlarge the tent. I'll get more chairs, I will. But if Jimmy says, okay, we'll respect that.
Okay.
Or we'll come with
the 50
50 that you can afford. To. Then sometimes Jimmy may say, I'm struggling. And maybe I can chip in to help you organize your grandfather's place so that we can come and it's a little more presentable. But there is no said law or cast in stone that a man should be giving or the woman should be asking for money from the man to actually do that. It's not there.
Are we almost coming to the end? I just want to wind up with this, Winnie. We have different faiths. There is a Muslim, there's another one is a Christian, another one is a Catholic and forth like that. Different faiths have their different norms, ways, culture of doing things.
Yeah.
When you get to the Muslims, they're out there, and I know they could be also listening. When you get to them, they say a man is allowed to marry four
women.
If it's 4, but on a condition that you have to
look after all of them
equally. How is that mechanism workable, according to you?
Now, according to me,
because they say you can marry one, but if you to go for the second one, you're allowed, but make sure you equally, love them equally with the provisions and all that. All the services must be equated.
Equal. Now, I think that the men also have a challenge in that. Why? Yes, you will love them equally. His love...
Is it possible for a man to love 2 women or 3?
No. Equally? This is what I'm coming to.
Yes.
Their perception of loving equally is you bring a bunch of matoke to wife A, wife B, wife C, wife D. You sleep...
2 bunches there, 2 bunches there, 2 bunches there.
4 kilos of meat. You sleep 5 days here, 5 days there, 5 days there. Exactly. That's their aspect of love. You cannot. It can't be equal.
It can't be equal.
No.
When it comes to the issues of the heart, the expression of emotions.
It can't be equal. Because now imagine you're living Kameza for wife A. She has seen it reducing and she still kneels down and is grateful. And yet, for you, you're just spiting her and giving her from 50,000 it's now 20. And she's so grateful. You go to wife B, you give her 20 and she quarrels the whole week you are there, right?
Yes.
And the one who will poison you is the one who is thankful.
Okay.
Or the one who is bewitching you is the one who is very thankful. Like, you tell yourself, in fact, I've had them give them names. They say, Muumuza.
Okay.
Muumuza, like, I am at rest.
When
Muumuza. Yes, I mean, I'm Muumuza. Like, when I reach there, my heart, I'm at peace. Yes. I don't have to sleep with one eye out, like, what is going to happen or what's coming to me next. But when I go to Marriott, I'm on eggshells. Like, I have to be at my best. Marriott, meanwhile, calls out the man in you. She is telling you, look here, stop being lazy. Get up, go and work. And when you have gone out to work, you actually find the money there. The work is there. I'm not going to accept the lazy you. You are going to get up and work. I know you can do this. You will do it. And you say, Marriott, let me just go and do it. And you've prospered with her because she pulls you out and pushes you. She keeps pushing you to be better than you are. The other one doesn't. She's happy.
Whatever you bring, she's comfortable.
She's comfortable with it.
She doesn't give you, she doesn't awaken another muscle in you.
Exactly. Now, even the money you are bringing here, Marriott is the one who is pushing you to make it.
Pushing you to work to make it, and then you bring this.
And that is something you love about her. Never mind that when she's pushing you, you don't see it as a good thing. She's like she's nagging you. You'd much rather be with the Muumuza who... Then you will get the young one who washes your feet. She undresses you from the road. She bathes you.
She handles you different from the gate,
exactly,
the veranda, and the living room.
True. Now, you tell me if you are going to love them equally.
And it's not easy.
It isn't easy. So I don't think that there is equitable love among my Muslim brothers. I don't think it is there.
I get your point. So I've learned something here. Dear viewers, we're coming to the end. It's been nice hosting you.
Thank you.
And I've been learning quite a lot with the the accountant, our love coach who is an accountant. She's very interesting, very intriguing, because when you look at love, she explains love in a different, angle, whereby she says that lots of people who are counting love in material stuff, they're lying to themselves. Love goes further than the material stuff. You can't weigh the emotions that you offer somebody. You can't weigh the appreciation, emotional that you can appreciate different women. So basically, the whole thing is, I want you to say, give your remarks, the last words. What would be your advice in a home setting of people that are trying to merge, to work out their whatever differences? Because Kameza has been bringing issues. I want you to look into the camera and really say something to such people.
In a home setting, it is dead man walking. That is the way I would say it. You have to come from a place of, I want to give, not I'm waiting to receive. I would like to give you my best. I would like to give you my all. And when you come with that perspective, what he gives you, you cease to measure it in light of what you give him. Because what you give him is selfless. So you're not expecting, because when you expect, then you say, I did this, why isn't he doing that? So you come from a place that I am full and I'm going to give you. Okay. I'm going to give you my love, my heart, everything, expecting nothing.
Wow. That is incredible. Thanks a lot, Coach Winfred Zizinga. Winfred Zizinga. What a name. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful name. It's been wonderful hosting Winfred Zizinga, and I'm sure that we're going to have another session. I will plead so much with her that she creates some time to give us a second shot. Welcome aboard Destiny Hub. See you next Wednesday. We will be having much fun. But it's been a pleasure hosting you, audience. You're wonderful.